Namaste. Hello. Good evening, everyone. To all my dear friends, I welcome you all on our Ignite Academy's online education platform. स्वागत आहे सगळ्यांचं. या आशेसोबत आपण सगळे आनंदी निरोगी असाल, अतिशय फ्रेश, प्रसन्न आणि उत्साही माइंडने सेशनला बसले असाल. तर विद्यार्थ्यांच्या मागणीस्तव इग्नाइट अकॅडमी सादर करत आहे तलाठी भरतीसाठी गट क च्या परीक्षांसाठी एक स्पेशल इंग्रजी बॅच. इंग्रजी बॅच म्हणजे इंग्लिश मीडियम मध्ये सर्व विषयांची शिकवणी असणारी बॅच. भरपूर साऱ्या विद्यार्थ्यांचे कॉल्स आले, मेसेजेस आले, सजेशन्स आले आणि भरपूर साऱ्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी रिक्वेस्ट केली की सर आपल्याला इंग्लिशमध्ये बॅच हवी आहे, आम्हाला ग्रुप सी चं प्रिपरेशन करायचंय, तलाठी भरतीसाठी आम्हाला तयारी करायची आहे, तर आम्हाला इंग्रजी विषयामध्ये विज्ञान शिकवा, इंग्रजी विषयात अर्थशास्त्र, इंग्रजी विषयात हिस्ट्री, इंग्रजी विषयात जिओग्राफी, सर्व पूर्व परीक्षेचे मुख्य परीक्षेचे विषय आम्हाला इंग्रजीमध्ये हवेत. तर त्याच मागणीला आम्ही विचाराधीन घेऊन आम्ही सादर करत आहोत आता इंग्रजी मीडियमची बॅच, ज्यामध्ये सर्व विषय तुम्हाला इंग्रजी लँग्वेजमध्ये शिकवले जातील. चला तर सेशनला आपण सगळ्यांनी लाईक करून ठेवा, चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब करायचं सगळ्यांनी. एमपीएससी सरळ सेवा हे एक असं चॅनल आहे तुमच्या हक्काचं, सगळ्यांच्या आवडीचं, ज्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला सर्व एमपीएससीच्या परीक्षांबद्दल, आता जेवढ्या गट ब च्या गट क च्या राज्यसेवेच्या सर्व परीक्षांबद्दल एक चांगल्या प्रकारचं मार्गदर्शन मिळतंय, मराठी पण आणि इंग्रजी पण दोन्ही लँग्वेजेसमध्ये. करायची मग सेशनला सुरुवात. बघा आज मी तुमच्या समोर घेऊन आलेलो आहे विज्ञान विषयाचं सेशन. इन टुडेज सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस वन व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट टॉपिक, or for that matter we can say that one very important subtopic or subpoint regarding metals and non-metals. You must have seen the thumbnail. In that thumbnail we have clearly mentioned that reactivity of metals is the point that we will study, we will discuss in next 40-45 minutes. We will not only discuss the point, in the later half we will solve previous year questions that have been asked on this topic. So my agenda is to make you clear about this concept. Everything should be crystal clear. What is reactivity of metal? What is reactivity series of metals? What are alloys? And you should be able to solve all the previous year questions that have been asked in MPSC Group B, Group C exams in recent years. So let's get started. करायचं सेशनला सुरुवात. ओनली इंग्लिश मीडियम बॅच आहे बघा, ओनली इंग्लिश मीडियम बॅच. तलाठी भरती 2026 ला समोर ठेवून प्रिलिम्स साठी बॅच आपण सध्या सुरुवातीला लॉन्च करतोय, जी पूर्णपणे इंग्रजी मीडियम मध्ये बॅच असणार आहे. बघा आपली ही जी टीम आहे, ही टीम मराठी इंग्रजी दोन्ही विषयाला सारख्या प्रमाणात न्याय देणारी टीम आहे. प्रत्येक विषयामध्ये कमीत कमी मागच्या 5 ते 10 वर्षांपासून कमीत कमी म्हणतोय अनुभव असणारी ही टीम आहे. संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्रभर या टीमने असंख्य एमपीएससी मधल्या विद्यार्थ्यांना यशाच्या त्या शिखरापर्यंत पोहोचवायला मदत केलेली आहे. लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड फॉर्मॅटमध्ये ही बॅच असणार आहे बघा. त्याच्यामुळे या बॅचची आपण नोंद घ्यायची. या बॅचेससाठी तुम्हाला प्रवेश नोंदवायचा असेल तर आजच आपलं इग्नाइट अकॅडमीचं ऍप तुम्ही डाउनलोड करायचंय. पहिली स्टेप काय, ऍप डाउनलोड करणे, त्यानंतर लॉग इन करणे आणि मग तिथे जाऊन हा आपला कोर्स तुम्ही परचेस करायचा, ऍडमिशन घ्यायचे. लवकरच ऍपमध्ये लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड फॉर्मॅटमध्ये सेशन सुरू होतील. आता या बॅच सोबत तुम्हाला आणखी काय काय मिळणार आहे, फ्री स्टेट बोर्डची बॅच मिळणार आहे, त्याबरोबर फ्री प्रॅक्टिस टेस्ट असतील 1000+. त्यानंतर पीवायक्यू ची पण फ्री बॅच मिळेल. 2020 पासून 25 पर्यंत ग्रुप बी ग्रुप सी ला आलेले पीवायक्यू ते पण तुम्हाला या बॅच मध्ये मिळते. आणि सोबतच 5 ऑफलाईन महा टेस्ट सिरीजचा पण तुम्हाला लाभ घेता येणार आहे. पीडीएफ पीपीटी स्वरूपात नोट्स असतील, रिव्हिजन डाऊट क्लिअरिंग सेशन पण तुम्हाला असणार आहे. राईट. त्याच्यामुळे सायन्स या विषयाबद्दल मी तुमच्यासाठी आहे, उभा आहे, तुमच्यासाठी नेहमी या ठिकाणी तत्पर आहे. विज्ञान विषयात तुम्हाला कसल्याही प्रकारची अडचण येऊ देणार नाही. आणि बाकीच्या विषयाबद्दल बोलायचं झालं त्याबद्दल मी पण तुम्हाला पूर्ण प्रॉमिस करतो, बाकीची पूर्ण टीम, नितीन सर आहे जिओग्राफीसाठी, दीप्ती मॅम आहेत हिस्ट्रीसाठी, नंतर अभिजित सर इकॉनॉमिक्स साठी. बघा या नावांना ओळखीची गरज नाहीये, संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्रभर आपली टीम प्रसिद्ध आहे. सगळे विषय, किरण पाटील सर आहेत गणित बुद्धिमत्तेसाठी, सगळे विषय जे आहेत आपले प्रिलिमचे आणि करंट अफेअर तर आपल्या महाराष्ट्रात पूर्ण नावाजलेलं नाव अमोल गाडेकर सर. सगळे फॅकल्टी टीम त्यांच्या विषयाला न्याय देणार आहे. मकरंद सर आहेत, प्रतीक सर आहेत, सर्व फॅकल्टी टीम या ठिकाणी तुमच्यासाठी उपलब्ध आहे. आता बघा आणखी एक खूप मोठी अनाउन्समेंट. तलाठी भरतीची बॅच जर तुम्ही या ठिकाणी जॉईन करताय आणि जर तुम्ही तलाठी पदाला गवसणी घालताय तर मग तुम्हाला संपूर्ण बॅच फीस परत मिळणार आहे. संपूर्ण बॅच फीस आपण परत मिळू शकता. तलाठी पोस्ट मिळून ही अनाउन्समेंट तुमच्यासाठी आहे. हिला पण तुम्ही लक्षात ठेवायचं आहे. आणखी एक सूचना बघा. आता ज्या विद्यार्थी मित्रांना मराठीतून बॅचेस जॉईन करायचे आहेत तर त्यांच्यासाठी पण सध्या ऍडमिशन ओपन आहे. तलाठी भरतीसाठी प्रिलिम्स लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड, एमपीएससी गट क साठी बॅचेस सुरू झालेल्या आहेत ऍपमध्ये लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड. आणि तुम्ही या ठिकाणी आपल्या बॅचेसला ऍडमिशन घेऊ शकता. ऍडमिशन घेण्यासाठी सध्या पण तुम्हाला संधी आहे. जर काही अडचण येत असतील कोणाला ऍडमिशनच्या संदर्भात तर हा जो मोबाईल क्रमांक दिसतोय 8888 99 116 या क्रमांकावर संपर्क साधायचा आहे. आणि ज्यांना वाटतंय की आम्हाला तलाठी भरतीची पूर्व आणि मुख्यची एक कॉम्बो बॅच हवी त्यासाठी पण पर्याय उपलब्ध आहे. अशाही प्रकारच्या ऑनलाईन लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड फॉर्मॅट मधल्या बॅचेस आपल्या ऍपमध्ये उपलब्ध आहेत. ठीक आहे, चला आता चर्चेला सुरुवात करूया. लेट्स स्टार्ट अवर डिस्कशन. Friends, today the topic that we are going to discuss is about reactivity of metals. So some basic things that you need to understand. General science subject is very, very important in your prelims exam and in your mains exam also. If you consider about prelims, there are total 15 questions, 15 questions on science. Out of total 100 questions, 15 questions are on science, and in those 15 questions, 3 questions are asked on physics, 3 questions are asked on chemistry, and remaining 9 questions are on biology. 339 is the sub-distribution among physics, chemistry, and biology. And if you consider about mains, at the mains stage, science subject is again very important in paper number 2. There are total 12 questions on general science, in which 3 will be on physics, next 3 will be on chemistry, and the last 6 questions they will be on biology. Right. So today the topic is about chemistry. It is about chemistry or chemistry topic, metals, non-metals. So this is a very important topic. In the topic of metals, non-metals, we come across a very important concept that is called as reactivity of metals. Now I will start the discussion by giving you some examples of metals. You all are familiar with some famous metals like gold, then silver, then potassium, right? Okay, then sodium, calcium, magnesium, all are metals. This list will go on. Till date, we are familiar with almost 90 plus metals. Humans have discovered 90 plus metals in this nature. So this list is very long list. It is a huge list. We just need to understand which are some famous metals: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, gold, silver, platinum, all are metals. So when you compare one metal with another metal, you come across a very important difference, and that is about reactivity. The difference is about reactivity. Some metals are very, very highly reactive, and some other metals are very, very less reactive. So in between metals, there is a difference of reactivity, right? So on this criteria, metals are classified into two types. The first category is called as noble metals. The first category of metals is called as noble metals, and the second category is called as common metals. So what we are doing? We are simply classifying the metals into two categories: noble metals and common metals. And the criteria that we have used during this classification or for this classification is reactivity. So what do we mean by noble metals? Noble metals are those metals which are very, very less reactive. Their reactivity is very low. Some metals are there in this nature. which are very less reactive. Their nature is very less reactive. Due to less reactivity, they do not participate in chemical reaction. They never participate in chemical reaction. They maintain their originality. They remain in their original state. That's why it is said that noble metals are found in free state in this nature. Noble metals are present in free state in this nature because they will not participate in chemical reaction. They will not form compounds. They will remain as they are. It is called as free state. It is called as free state. So noble metals are present in free state. I will give you some examples of noble metals. So gold is a noble metal. What is the symbol of gold? What is the symbol of gold? Au. Then silver is also noble metal. Symbol of silver, Ag. Right? Then again platinum. Platinum is also noble metal. Palladium is also noble metal. Remember these 4 to 5 metals. Gold, silver, then platinum, palladium. They are famously regarded as noble metals. Due to less reactivity, they are present in free state. Now these metals due to less reactivity, they will not form bonds, and one point is very important, they are highly in demand in market because they will not undergo corrosion. One problem with general metals is that they corrode, they undergo rusting. Corrosion कळतं तुम्हाला? corrosion म्हणजे गंजणे. आता गंजतात कोणते धातू? तेच धातू गंजत असतात शक्यतो ज्यांची रिएक्टिव्हिटी जादा असते. गंजणे एक रासायनिक क्रिया आहे. So noble metals will not corrode, they will not rust, they will maintain their originality. Why? Because they do not participate in chemical reaction. So they oppose corrosion. They oppose corrosion. Remember this point. That's why they are highly in demand in market. They fetch great value. They are costlier. On the other hand, we have some other metals called as common metals. So what do you mean by common metals? Common metals are those metals which are highly reactive. Their reactivity is high. They are highly reactive. Due to high reactivity, they are present in this nature in combined form. In combined form. Combined state. They will not occur in individual state. They will react with others. They will form compounds and they will find in the combined form. In this nature, they will be present in the combined form or compound form, right? I will give the example, some examples of common metals: potassium, sodium, then aluminium, magnesium, lithium, etc., etc. These are some famous metals which show high reactivity and they immediately react with others. They instantaneously react with other metals or other non-metals. They form bonds. They undergo corrosion. They undergo rusting, and due to all this, they are present in combined or compound form in this nature. Right. Now, scientists have developed one series, that is what we call as reactivity series. Now, look at some metals shown in this diagram. Look at these metals shown in this diagram. You can see here is one metal, potassium. Now, potassium is one of the highest reactive metal known till date. Potassium is one of the most reactive metal known till date. So this potassium, highly reactive, violent reaction. If you keep potassium inside water or if keep potassium in air, it will catch fire, it will burn, instantaneously react with other non-metals. Then iron also reactive, but not that much reactive as potassium, somewhat less reactive. But during some time span, if you consider about some weeks or some months, iron will also undergo corrosion. It will also participate in chemical reaction, right? So it is a fast reaction. But copper, moderate reaction. This reaction will be less slower than iron reaction. Then silver, it will be much slower, and gold do not undergo corrosion. It is unreactive. So What is the point? The point is about reactivity. The point is about reactivity. So gold is very highly unreactive, and potassium is highly reactive. So based on these differences, scientists have prepared one reactivity series. Now look at this series. Look at this series. This is called as reactivity series of metals. In this series, you can observe some very famous, useful, and day-to-day metals. They are arranged in the decreasing order of their reactivity. This series is in the decreasing order of their reactivity. The topmost metal present in this series is potassium. Look at this. K. K is the symbol for potassium. So potassium is the highest reactive metal known till date. Most reactive. So if you go below sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, you will find out that reactivity starts to decrease. And the last element at the bottom most position of this table is platinum. PT, platinum. Platinum is the least reactive metal. So you have to memorize this series. Look at these metals which are placed at the bottom of this series: copper, mercury, silver, gold. They are unreactive, or they are less reactive. Gold is very less reactive. It will not react with water, it will not react with air, it will not react with oxygen. That's why it maintains its purity and remain in free state. Correct? But potassium, sodium, you must have heard, friends, sodium. Sodium is stored inside kerosene. You cannot keep sodium open in air. What will happen? It will catch the fire immediately. Sodium is so reactive that when you keep it open in air, it reacts instantaneously with the oxygen and it burns. So in order to store the sodium, you have to place it inside the kerosene. So this is the point that I want to convey. So this is the reactivity of metals. Now, if you consider about the reactivity, here some metals are very famous. Let us talk about some famous day-to-day useful metals. Here, aluminium metal, which is present in this series. One very important fact about aluminium is that it has very high strength to weight ratio. What do you mean by this? It means that for less amount of aluminium, for less weight of aluminium, there is very high strength. Imagine about metals. We use metals in different machines, in different parts of our vehicles, in different parts of our homes. So metals are present everywhere. So if you want to make a part which does not have so much weight but has strongness, then you can choose aluminium. Aluminium has very high strength to weight ratio, and due to this high strength to weight ratio, it is suitable to make the parts of automobiles. So you all know automobiles, the vehicles, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, and in aviation sector, aeroplanes. So in automobile sector, aluminium is widely used to prepare the parts of vehicles. Right. This is the point. Now, one more important thing, aluminium is used to make wires. Aluminium is used to make chocolate wrappers. It is used to make food cans. There are many uses. Now, this aluminium is good conductor of heat and electricity. Remember this point. But instead of aluminium, there are two more metals which are again very good conductor of heat and electricity. The first is silver. And the second is copper. Now friends, silver is symbolically denoted by Ag and copper symbolically denoted by Cu. So now three metals are there in front of you: silver, copper and aluminium. If you compare these three metals, all are very good conductors of electricity. No doubt. All three conduct the electricity, all three conduct the heat. But comparison But during comparison, it is found out that silver is the best conductor of electricity. Silver, ज्याला आपण चांदी म्हणतो बघा, best conductor among all metals. From childhood, we have learned that metals are good conductors of heat as well as electricity, isn't it? Yes. But among metals, among all the known metals, which metal is the best? Which metal is the best conductor of heat and electricity? Then the answer is silver. Due to free electrons, there are so many free electrons in silver that it has become the best conductor of heat and electricity. Number one conductor of heat and electricity, silver. Then the second best is copper. Second best after silver, because you all know we have some limitations while using the silver. Silver cannot be widely used. Silver is a very expensive metal, right? It is very expensive. It is not affordable. So silver is replaced by copper. Copper is cheap as compared to silver. So many times you can see the wires of copper, electric devices of copper, right? So copper is used. Copper is the best alternative to silver. So copper is the second best conductor of heat and electricity. And if you cannot use copper, copper is also expensive for you, then you can go with aluminium. Then aluminium is the third best conductor of heat and electricity, right? So these three metals are identical in almost all properties: electricity conduction, heat conduction. But difference is the difference: aluminium, silver, and copper. Right? So here, if you have to arrange them in a sequence, so copper more than aluminium and less than silver. This is the series: electrical and heat conductivity. Right? Now there are other many uses of silver. Silver is also used to make medicines. Silver has antimicrobial properties. Silver has antimicrobial properties. That's why it is used to make medicines. In medicine industry, silver is widely used. It can kill the bacteria. Some antibiotics, some medicines that are produced by using the silver, right? Then copper is also used in different industries to make statues, to make utensils, to make pots, to make glasses. So copper is also widely used. Actually, copper is the second most used metal. Second most used metal. Do you know which is the highest used metal by humankind? The most used metal by humans is iron. This one, Fe. The symbol of iron is Fe. Iron is the most commonly used metal. That's why it is called as king of metals. Iron is king of metals. After iron, the second most used metal is copper. After iron, copper is the second most used metal. Remember this point. So copper also has many uses in electrical industry, in automobile industry, in different industries. Copper cables are there in our homes. The wires that are mainly made of copper, right? Electric wires. Copper is good conductor of electricity, right? Now gold AU. Some interesting facts about gold. Gold is the most ductile and malleable metal. Most ductile and malleable metal. Have you heard these two terms? Malleability, ductility. Do you know the meaning of these two terms? What do we mean by ductility? Ductility ज्याला मराठीमध्ये तन्यता म्हणतात. Ductility is the property of metal in which we can draw thin wires. Ductility is the property of metal where we can draw thin wires from that metal. So you all know metals can be drawn into wires. Wire of copper, wire of iron, wire of aluminium. Right? And malleability means what? Malleability, ज्याला मराठीमध्ये वर्धनीयता म्हणतात. Malleability is also the property of metals in which we can beat that metal into thin sheets. If metal can be drawn into thin sheets, then it is said to be malleable. So you can see sheets of iron, sheets of aluminium, sheets of copper, right? So metals can be drawn into sheets. So these two are the properties of metals. So among all metals, the most ductile metal is gold, and most malleable metal is also gold. You will be amazed to know that from 1 gram of gold, you can make almost 2 to 3 kilometers of wire. If you have 1 gram gold, by beating that gold, you can draw a thin wire, thinnest wire, which is almost 2 to 3 kilometers in length. Can you imagine? So there is no other metal which is so much ductile as much gold is ductile. Right? So most ductile and most malleable. And you all know gold is also used in ornaments, jewelry. That is the most famous use from time being for the gold. And gold is also good conductor of heat, electricity. It can conduct, but it is not that much good conductor as much silver is. Right. Now, the next point of our discussion is that when you look at certain metals which are highly corrosive, they corrode, they undergo rusting, then the option comes out, alloys. Then the option is alloys. Now, what humans do? Humans perform one very important change with metals. They combine one metal with another metal. Now you have one metal, and you found out that metal is very corrosive in nature. That metal is very, very soft, and you want to use that metal. So what you do? You just combine that metal with another metal. And sometimes it has also been seen that a metal can get combined with non-metal. This is also possible. So when you mix metals, 2, 3, 4, minimum 2 metals should be there. So mixing metal with metal or metal with non-metal, what it does, here you make a homogeneous mixture. Do you understand the meaning of homogeneous? So homogeneous means composition is uniform throughout the mixture. From top to bottom, you will find out same uniformity in that mixture. That is what we call as homogeneous mixture. याला मराठीमध्ये समांगी मिश्रण म्हणतात बघा. एकजीवपणा आलेलं, समांगी असलेलं, right? So metal plus metal or metal plus non-metal, homogeneous mixture is called as an alloy. Now, what are the benefits? Why do we perform such changes? So there are many benefits of making alloys. The first benefit is that it imparts strongness to the metal. It makes metal more harder. It makes metal more strong, more durable, and it prevents the rate of corrosion. Corrosion means what? गंजणे, corrode होणे, rusting. Corrosion जे असतं, रस्टिंग जे असतं बघा, corrosion किंवा रस्टिंग जे असतं, तर याला ते काय करतात? कमी करतात. सो एखादं मेटल आहे दुसऱ्या मेटल सोबत मिक्स केलं तर ते गंजण्याचा दर कमी होतो. सो रेट ऑफ रस्टिंग और corrosion इज डिक्रीज्ड. It prevents corrosion. Then appearance is smooth. Appearance also changes. Smooth, shiny, lustrous, and more visible, more clear, more we can say that brighter appearance gets to that alloy. So these are some benefits. That's why we make alloys. That's why we mix one metal with another metal. I will give you one simple example. You all know the purest gold. The purest gold is 24 karat gold. Correct? 24 karat gold is the purest gold. But there are some limitations. There are some problems with this gold. What are they? We cannot use this gold to make complicated jewelry because it is very soft. It is so soft that you cannot make jewelry, right? So what we do? We take this 24 karat gold, and in 24 karat gold, we took 22 parts of pure gold, and in that 2 parts of silver are added. right? So 22 parts of gold plus 2 parts of silver. Now it is called as 22 karat gold. It is called as 22 karat gold, right? So this is alloy. 22 karat gold is alloy and it is used to make jewelry ornaments. Sometimes we take 20 parts of gold and we mix 4 parts of silver in it. And it is called as 20 karat gold. 20 karat gold. So 22 karat gold, 20 karat gold, 18 karat gold, these all are alloys. These all are alloys. So pure gold is 24 karat gold. So such gold is used to make ornament jewelry. It is hard and can give you all types of jewelry, all complicated types of jewelry that you want. Understood? Yes. Now I will give you some examples of alloys. They are repeatedly asked in our MPSC Group B, Group C exams. Now the first alloy, very important, very famous, the first alloy in front of your screen is brass. Brass याला मराठीमध्ये पितळ म्हणतात. पितळ. Brass म्हणजे पितळ. Now in order to make brass we mix two metals. The first is copper, second is zinc. Copper and zinc, almost 80%, 80-85% copper, 15 to 20% zinc. Copper plus zinc, they together make brass. The second is bronze. Bronze is also alloy. It is made of mixing two metals. The first is copper and the second is tin. Copper plus tin is called as bronze. Bronze ला मराठीमध्ये कांस्य म्हणतात. Then next is very famous steel. Steel, stainless steel. Steel is very famous, widely used in our houses, in industries, in offices. Steel is an alloy of the main metal iron. Then one non-metal is also used, carbon. Then chromium, nickel is also used. Iron, carbon, chromium, nickel, they are used to make steel, right? Then solder is also there. Solder, you know soldering gun, solder. To make solder, we use lead and tin. Lead ला मराठीमध्ये शीशे म्हणतात, right? आणि tin ला कथील म्हणतात. So lead plus tin, Pb plus S, and inside the bracket we have mentioned the symbols of those metals, lead plus tin. Then duralumin is also very famous. Duralumin is prepared from four main metals. Aluminium is there, very important, copper, magnesium and manganese. Aluminium, copper, magnesium and manganese, duralumin. Then the next is nichrome. Nichrome, nickel plus chromium, as the name suggests, nickel plus chromium. So you have to memorize, you have to always recall all these important alloys. And other than these alloys, I will also mention some other important like amalgam. Amalgam is also very famous. To make amalgam, the compulsory metal is mercury. Compulsory metal is mercury. So mercury is there. Mercury. But along with mercury, you can add any other metal like gold, like silver, like copper. So other metal, gold or silver or copper, anything can be there. But the compulsory metal should be mercury. During dental filling, when you get the cavity in your teeth, many times it is filled with an alloy and it is called as amalgam. Amalgam is used to fill your teeth where the cavity is present, dental cavity. So silver plus mercury is used in filling the dental cavities. Okay, amalgam is very famous. Amalgam, mercury should be there. Then the next important example that we can mention or we can add about the alloys is that we can say brass, bronze, steel, German silver. We are forgetting German silver. It is very famous, widely used. German silver. The first metal is copper, second is zinc, and the third is nickel. Remember these three metals: copper, zinc, nickel. German silver, very famous. Many times MPSC asks the question on German silver, so you have to memorize this. There are some facts. Which are needs to be recalled. Then gun metal is also there. Gun metal. So to prepare gun metal, copper is the primary metal. Copper. Then the next is nickel, and the last is tin. Copper, nickel, and tin. gun metal, copper, nickel, and tin. Yes, CuNiSn. Sn is the symbol for tin. Tin is also very important metal, right? So these are some famous alloys that have been repeatedly asked in our combined group B and group C exam. So the small point, the small point that has come in front of us is about due to reactivity. Due to reactivity, we are going for alloys, and there are other benefits also. So highly reactive metals, they can corrode. They are mixed with other metals in order to make their alloys, right? Okay, now the questions that have been asked on this point, reactivity of metals, or we can say that alloys. Let us take our discussion to some previous year questions of MPSC Group B and Group C exam. The first question of today's session is in front of your screen. Please try to answer. If you know the answer, please let me know in the comment section. If you know the answer, let me know in the comment section. Which one of the following is used as a cheaper alternative to copper in manufacturing of electrical appliances? Can you answer? Which of the following is used as a cheaper alternative to copper in manufacturing of electrical appliances? We have mentioned that copper is sometimes expensive, we cannot afford it. So instead of copper, the similar metal which can show properties like good electrical conductivity, good heat conductivity is aluminium. So after copper, aluminium is the best suited metal to make electric devices, electric appliances, right? We mentioned silver is the first choice, copper is second choice, and aluminum is the third choice. So option number first is the right answer. Easy question. Next question. Bronze is an alloy. The questions that you are seeing on your screen, all are previous year questions. All are previous year questions. Bronze is an alloy of bronze. Options are in symbolic form. Options are in symbolic form. All the options that you can observe here, or you can see here, they have written in symbols. CuSn, CuZn, CuPb, CuNi. So the correct answer for this question is again option number first, CuSn. Correct. Bronze. Bronze is an alloy of two famous metals, copper plus tin. The second option, you confused between first and second. The second option, copper plus zinc. Second option is copper plus zinc, and it is called as brass. It is brass. It is not bronze. It is brass. If the question would have been brass is an alloy of, then the answer is option 2. If the question is about brass, then the option is 2. But the question is about bronze. That's why answer is 1. Next question. German silver is alloy of. German silver. Copper, zinc, tin, copper, nickel, zinc, copper, zinc, copper, tin. So the correct answer is option number 2. Copper, nickel, and zinc. Friends, Cu, copper, Ni, nickel, Zn, zinc. Zinc is very important. Right. Other than copper and nickel, zinc is important. 3 metals are there. Right. We have written German silver, copper, zinc, and nickel. Option 2 is the right answer. Option first gets cancelled because of tin. Tin is not present in German silver. Next question. The high strength to weight ratio of dash dash alloy mainly recommends their use in aircraft and automobile industries. Straightforward question, very easy question. Try to answer. Everyone should be able to answer this question. Which metal has high strength to weight ratio? If this point doesn't click, then aircraft and automobile industries. Now you should be able to answer. In aircraft automobile industries, the aluminum is the metal that is used to make parts, lighter parts but stronger parts. So answer 4. Option 4. Answer 4 is the option. Light aluminum. Aluminum is the metal, high strength to weight ratio. Next question. From metals, electrical conductivity increases in the order of. Look at the options. Al, Ag, Cu, Al, Cu, Ag, Cu, Al, Ag, Ag, Cu, Al. Question is asking to arrange the metals in increasing order of electrical conductivity. कमी ते जास्त बघा. Electrical conductivity increases in the order of. So three metals, silver, copper and aluminum. We have to arrange these three metals. If you look at all the 4 options, you will find out only 3 metals are mentioned here: aluminum, copper and silver. So we have to arrange them in the increasing order of electrical conductivity. So the first one will be aluminum, second is copper and the third is silver. So this should be the order, and this order is present in option number 2. Option 2 is the right answer. So the questions that you are solving right now are all previous year questions, Group B and Group C exams. These questions are not so much tough, they are straightforward, and many times questions are single line questions. Actual questions are also there. This topic is a very handy topic when it comes to score, right? And a plethora of questions have been asked on this topic during last 4 to 5 years. Many questions, you will find out many questions are there on metals and non-metals. It is very easy topic. Everyone should prepare it from textbooks, state boards, previous year questions, and make sure that I will not lose my 1 mark when the question will be asked on this topic. Now, can you answer this question? The process of isolating metals from their ore is called as. Do you know the answer? Do you know the answer? बताइए चलिए. The process of isolating metals from their ores. Sometimes you have to look at the options and eliminate those options which can never be the answer. Now the first option, crystallization. It can never be the answer. What do you mean by crystallization? Crystallization is a chemical process. It is a chemical process in which sometimes a liquid gets converted into solid. But it is the formation of solids where atoms are arranged in a regular fashion. Imagine one solid is forming and its atoms are getting arranged in a regular fashion, in a disciplined manner, right? There is a regular structure inside that substance. That is what we call as crystallization. We have many solids present in the nature which are crystals, like diamond, like sugar, like salt. They are solids, but they are crystals, right? Because they have been formed by a regular arrangement of atoms or molecules. So crystallization is a different term. Sedimentation is not the answer. Why? Sedimentation means what? When heavier particles settle down. Imagine a liquid. In that liquid, many particles are suspended, and those particles which are heavier, or sometimes what happens, lighter particles combine with each other and they become heavier and they settle down. That is what we call as sedimentation. Many times we have observed dust is mixed in water, and if you disturb the water, dust gets mixed throughout the water. If you leave the water for 1 hour, half hour, after some time you will find out that dust has been settled at the bottom. That is what we call as sedimentation. So this is not the answer. Polymerization is not the answer. What do you mean by polymerization? Polymerization is the process of linking of same types of molecules with each other. One molecule with the similar second molecule, similar third molecule, similar fourth molecule. So same type of molecules gets linked with each other and they form a long chain. That is what we call as polymerization. Rubber is the polymer, right? Proteins are also polymers of amino acids. Right? So polymerization is a different. So the answer is metallurgy. As the name suggests, metal, धातुशास्त्र, नावात अर्थ आहे बघा, metallurgy. So whenever you are solving previous year questions, you should not only give the answer, you should not only look at the answer, but other three options. These are also very important. This is what we call as analysis of previous year questions. Analyze the PYQs in a proper way, and MPSC asks questions, many questions based on PYQs. You have to look at the other options also, their meaning, their examples, how the question can get formed on those remaining options also. So friends, in chemistry, there is a special branch, or there is a special, we can say that a stream where metals are extracted from Earth's crust. Do you know iron, copper, aluminium, where they are present? They are inside Earth's crust. So we have to first locate the site. Then we have to dig deeper, extract the metal from that site, and metal is not in the pure form, it is along with impurities, gangue particles. So by extracting that ore, we have to take to the industry, and then we refine it, and we extract only the pure metal from that. So this is a huge process. It is a long process and an expensive process. It is what we call as metallurgy. Next question. Brass is an alloy of. Brass is an alloy of. Very, very easy question. Some questions gets repeated. Brass, bronze, steel. These are very favorite and hot points. Brass is made up of two important metals. The first is copper and the second is zinc. And the option is option number 4. Copper and zinc. Brass, bronze. Correct? Copper plus zinc. Option 4 should be the right answer. Copper plus zinc. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. The first option is for bronze. And we have seen the question that has been asked on bronze. Next question. This is the repeated question. Bronze question has been asked 2 to 3 times in MPSC Group B, Group C exams. So bronze is an alloy of, as we mentioned, copper plus tin, Cu plus Sn. So option first is the right answer. Copper plus tin, bronze, and copper plus zinc. Second option is for brass. Don't get confused between brass and bronze. Right, option 1. Next question. This is the question that needs some thought. This is the question that needs to be think upon. Read it properly. Which of the following metal cannot be extracted from aqueous solution of its salt? इंग्लिश मीडियमच्या बॅचसाठी हे लेक्चर आहे, त्यामुळे मी इंग्लिशमध्ये बोलतोय. मराठी मीडियमच्या पण बॅचेस आपल्याकडे उपलब्ध आहेत. बघा विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, तलाठी भरतीसाठी जर तुम्हाला इंग्रजी मीडियम मधून बॅच हवी असेल, सगळे विषय इंग्रजीमध्ये शिकून हवे असतील, त्यासाठी आज मी हे एक डेमो सेशन तुमच्या समोर घेत आहे. त्यामुळे इंग्रजीमध्ये शिकवणी सुरू आहे. मराठी मीडियमच्या पण बॅचेस सुरू झालेल्या आहेत. मराठीमध्येही आपण विज्ञान विषय शिकवतो, इंग्रजीमध्ये पण शिकवतो, पण काही विद्यार्थ्यांना स्पेसिफिकली इंग्रजीमध्येच पाहिजेत. जे खास करून इंजिनिअरिंग बॅकग्राऊंडचे बरेचसे मुलं आहेत, किंवा सेम इंग्लिश होतं त्यांचं 10वी पर्यंत, 11वी 12वीला सायन्स होतं, नंतर पण टेक्निकल बॅकग्राऊंड आहे, अशा विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी आपण इंग्रजी मीडियमच्या बॅचेसचा ऑप्शन पण अवेलेबल करतोय आपल्या ऑनलाईन प्लॅटफॉर्मवर. दॅट्स वाय आपण इंग्रजी मीडियम मध्ये या ठिकाणी बॅचेससाठी आजचं सेशन कंडक्ट करतोय. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग मेटल कॅन नॉट बी एक्सट्रॅक्टेड फ्रॉम aqueous solution of its salt? Now, sometimes to answer this question, you have to look at the options. And by looking at the options, you find out certain option which is odd term out. Now, which are the options? Potassium, copper, silver, and gold. Out of these 4 metals, you all know potassium is the most reactive. It is the most reactive metal, isn't it? Yes. Compared to potassium, these 3 metals are less reactive. Imagine that reactivity series. In that reactivity series, potassium is at the top and copper, silver, gold, they are at the bottom of that reactivity series. So they are highly unreactive and this is highly reactive. So if the question would have been like this, find out the odd metal from the given option, you would have given the answer option number 1. Now the question is asking you which metal cannot be extracted from aqueous solution of its salt. So the answer is option number 1. Why? Because potassium is highly reactive. When potassium react with other non-metal, it forms salt. Now, when you want to extract or remove that potassium from its salt, it becomes very tough, very hard. Potassium is highly reactive. It forms a very strong bond. Those which are highly reactive, they will be strongly bonded with other partner. And due to that strong bonding, it will become very difficult to separate that metal from that non-metal or from other element to which it is bonded. So due to high reactivity, very high reactivity, you cannot extract potassium. You cannot extract potassium from aqueous solution of its salt. It is due to reactivity, high reactivity. Option 1 is the right answer. Next question. Stainless steel contains. Easy question. Nothing to worry. Stainless steel. It is simply asking you steel alloy. We all know steel is made up of four different elements: iron, copper, nickel, and chromium. Steel, iron, carbon, not copper. Iron, carbon, nickel, and chromium. So, is aluminum present in steel? Never. Magnesium? Never. Tin? Never. Chromium? Yes. Due to this chromium, steel gets its luster. So, chromium should be your answer. Right? Out of these 4 options, only one option is there which mentions about one of these metals, non-metals, and that is chromium. Option number 2. Now the next question, very easy. What does an amalgam must contain? What does an amalgam must contain? Mercury, silver, iron, platinum. Mercury, silver, iron, platinum. Amalgam should always contain mercury. Mercury is the compulsory metal that should be present in amalgam, and other than mercury, we can use silver with mercury. Along with mercury, we can use silver, we can use gold, we can use copper. So amalgam has many uses in different industries. So mercury is the right answer. This is the compulsory metal that we need to use. Now the next question. Duralumin is the alloy of. Duralumin is the alloy of. Many questions have been asked on alloys. Duralumin. 4 metals, main 4 metals. Can you identify them? Look at the options. Options are in symbolic form. Aluminium, copper, manganese, magnesium, zinc. Aluminium, copper, calcium, manganese, zinc. I told you duralumin mainly contains aluminium, copper, magnesium, and manganese. These 4 metals should be there compulsorily, isn't it? Yes. These 4 should be there in duralumin. Now look at option 4. It mentions about calcium as well as zinc. No, this should never be the answer. Look at second option. It also has calcium and zinc. It is never the answer. Now look at second option. It mentions tin along with zinc. No, never. It also has nickel. No nickel, no zinc, no. So the first option is the right answer. Aluminium, yes. Copper, yes. Manganese, yes. Magnesium, yes. And in some quantities, zinc can also be used. So we got those 4 metals only in first option. Aluminium, copper, magnesium, manganese. And zinc is also added. So option first is the right answer. Option first is the right answer. Got it, everyone? Now the last question of today's session, as the time is up. It is 7 p.m. Now we have to stop. So that's why, due to time constraint, we are going to stop. And this is the last question of today's session. Please answer it and end this session on a high note. I request you all to like the session and what you think about the session. Your feedback matters. So comment section is all open for you. Don't forget to leave your feedback. We appreciate your suggestions, your feedback, or any constructive criticism that you want to convey. You are free to chat in the comment section. What is the composition of brass alloy? Once again, the question is about alloys, brass. We all know brass simply has two metals. The first is copper and the second is zinc. Copper and zinc. So there is no tin. There is a third option cancelled. Brass has only copper and zinc, not tin. So SN is tin. So by this logic, you can cancel first, fourth, and third. So the answer is option number 2. Copper plus zinc. Copper plus zinc. Copper in 80% and zinc in 20%. If you don't know the percentage, still you will be able to understand this question. You will be able to solve this question because copper and zinc, they are the primary metals. Okay. So please leave your feedback in the comment section, and I thank you all for your attention and patience and watching the video till the end. I request you all to share this video to as many students as possible. I once again want you to know that आपण मराठीमध्ये पण तलाठी भरतीसाठी बॅचेस सुरू केलेल्या आहेत. मराठी मीडियमच्या बॅच ज्या बायलिंग्वली चालतात, मराठी इंग्रजी थोडंसं मिक्स असतं. तर मराठी इंग्रजीमध्ये पण ठीक आहे, एमपीएससी गट कची तलाठी भरतीची बॅच सुरूच आहे आपली. प्रिलिम्स साठी खास लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड आणि प्रिलिम्स मेन्स साठी पण लाईव्ह प्लस रेकॉर्डेड ऑनलाईन बॅच आपल्या सुरू आहेत. यांच्यासाठी पण तुम्ही ऍडमिशन घेऊ शकता. आजचं सेशन आपण ज्या उद्देशासाठी घेतलं होतं बघा, आजचं सेशन, तर हे तुमच्यापर्यंत माहिती पोहोचवण्यासाठी बरेच विद्यार्थी मित्रांची ही डिमांड होती त्यांच्यासाठी की सर इंग्लिश मीडियम मध्ये आम्हाला बॅच हवी आहे खास. त्याच्यासाठी हे सेशन आज मी कंडक्ट केलं की तुम्हाला समजावं या ठिकाणची टीम इंग्लिशमध्ये शिकू शकते का, शिकवते का, आहे का इथे बॅच. आम्ही शोधतोय, तर तुमच्यासाठी आम्ही हा पर्याय ओपन करत आहोत. बाकी आपल्या नॉर्मल सगळ्या मराठी मीडियम साठी पण आपल्या नॉर्मल तलाठी बॅचेस सुरू आहेत. आजच आपण प्रवेश निश्चित करा. या मोबाईल क्रमांकावर संपर्क करा. काही अडचणी असतील तर आजच इग्नाइट अकॅडमीचं ऍप डाउनलोड करायचं आहे. इंग्लिश मीडियम साठी प्रिलिम्स बॅच आपण सुरू केलेली आहे. आपल्याकडे दर्जेदार नोट्स आहेत, PYQ चे व्हिडिओज आहेत, स्टेट बोर्ड सिरीज आहे, 1000+ आपल्याकडे प्रॅक्टिस टेस्ट आहेत, ज्या सगळ्या फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट अलॉंग विथ दिस बॅच. ही बॅच जर तुम्ही घेत असाल तर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट तुम्हाला हे सगळं प्रोव्हाइड करण्यात येणार आहे. आय थँक यू ऑल फॉर युअर अटेन्शन, पेशन्स अँड वॉचिंग द व्हिडिओ टिल द एंड. गॉड ब्लेस यू एव्हरीवन. ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर युअर स्टडीज. उद्या पण आपलं सेशन आहे सकाळी 10 वाजता. टुमारो, उद्या संडे आहे, बट स्टील टुमारो सकाळी 10 वाजता आपण भेटणार आहोत याच आपल्या युट्यूब चॅनलवर. उद्याचं सेशन बघायला विसरू नका. सकाळी उद्या आपण व्हर्टिब्रेट्स या टॉपिकवर चर्चा करूया. महत्वाचा पॉइंट आहे, बायोलॉजी मधला पॉइंट आहे. सो टुमारो वी विल मीट at 10 AM sharp and we will discuss one very important topic called as vertebrates, which falls in the category of animal classification. Not only topic, we will also cover previous year questions. मिलेंगे कल सुबह 10 बजे. थँक्यू सो मच. गॉड ब्लेस यू एव्हरीवन. उद्याच्या सेशनची लिंक तुम्हाला आपल्या चॅनलमध्ये इथे लाईव्ह सेशनमध्ये दिसणार आहे. ती लिंक बघून घ्या, त्याच्यावर लाईक करून ठेवा. भेटूया उद्या. थँक्यू सो मच. बाय, टाटा. टेक गुड केअर ऑफ युअर सेल्फ. धन्यवाद.